Här sitter jag med en av producenterna för en av filmerna som är med i barnfilmstävlingen. Barnfilmskategorin på BUFF Filmfestival. Shrier som är you're producer for My Year with Dolly Parton.
The Year Dolly Parton was my mom. Really hard title in any language.
And you've come to Sweden. Is it your first time here?
Yes, it's amazing. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, and it's one of the most interesting movies, I think. And I've heard on the festival, and I've heard you had a very interesting casting process, especially with the actress in the leading role in the movie too.
Yeah, we had traveled. Canada is a very big country, and we did casting in the 4 biggest cities: Montreal, Toronto, Winnipeg, Vancouver, where the most amount of actors are, and we saw hundreds and hundreds of girls. And it was a tricky role because she needed to be just on the edge of growing up, but not yet growing up, and that happens really fast in young girls, so we couldn't do it too far ahead of time. And we needed that innocence, but yet that maturity, and we saw so many girls, and we just didn't fall in love, and we had a few candidates, but nothing that we were really excited about, and we were getting closer and closer and closer to shooting, and really nervous because this little girl had to carry the whole film on her shoulders. And so we decided, we had a big following on Facebook and a very big following on our blog. And so we decided to put the word out and say, okay, all you girls out there who aren't actors, if you'd like to try, get in touch with us. We had to ask their mothers to contact us because they're so young. And we'll send you a scene or 2, and you can put yourself on tape and you can post it on our Facebook page. And that's exactly what happened. And we saw Julia Stone's audition and Tara, the writer-director, and I looked at it and we went, oh my God. But she was from Vancouver, which is at the other end of the country, and we had already been there, and it takes as long to go to Vancouver as it does to come to Malmo. It's far, right? And so we really couldn't go back out there, but her mom is in the travel business, and so she had a million points accumulated, and she said, I'll bring her to meet you if you're at all interested. So we said, yeah, we are. And she came from Vancouver to Montreal, and we had one other candidate that was we were thinking about giving her the role, but she was a very experienced young actress, and she was too sophisticated and just too many actors' habits, you know. And so we spent the whole day Saturday with the woman who plays the mother and this other girl, and then the whole day Sunday with Julia, and by lunchtime we knew it was her. And we put her on a plane. We called the costume designer to the airport to take her measurements because there were so many complicated costumes, as you saw, and she was going 5,000 kilometers away, and we knew we weren't going to see her again until pretty much the pre-production. So we rolled the dice, and we said she's Elizabeth in her heart, and so we're going to trust that she's going to be able to do this, and she did. She was amazing.
Well, how do you think it's to maybe grow up now in this century with the whole when the stars maybe are Jersey Shore people or Justin Bieber, and in the 70s when it was Dolly Parton? How do you think the whole fan-star connection where you can lay back and have someone to look up to have developed during these 30 years maybe?
You know, it's funny because it's not for no reason that we put the story in the 70s, because I think it was a different time, and you know, not many people know a lot about Dolly Parton other than her humongous boobs, you know. And when you really listen to what she has to say, she was a real role model for women, because even in the 70s she was taking charge of her career and taking control of her rights to her music. She gave us all the music for the film. We would never have had the budget to buy that music, and she gave it to us. And she it's hard to find. I mean, everybody does. Like, I have a daughter now who's about that age and a little bit older, 15, and you know, she's she doesn't have that one role model, you know. I think it's more fleeting. Like you fall in love with one person and then you fall in love with another person and then 3 months later it's somebody else. But I think in the 70s there was just less movement. So I think you got to know somebody more, and you in terms of a role model, a star, and you could connect. I think. Maybe that's not even true, but it just feels now that it's so flavor of the month.
It's just like, in MySpace and new artists.
And also people are so much more accessible now. Like in the 70s, she had to get on her bike and get to a concert to hopefully meet this person. I mean, she couldn't just go on the internet and go on to a chat room and talk to Dolly. It just it was different. Yeah. I don't know. But she, she was just looking for, she just wanted that brush with celebrity, and I think that that's still true today. I think people feel that if they can get close to somebody who's somebody, then they'll be somebody, and I don't think that's changed. No. I think that's the same.
But you say Dolly Parton was nice in whole.
She was amazing. Whole
developing. She said anything special about the film after some reflections?
So she read the script because we weren't comfortable making a movie called The Year Dolly Parton Was My Mom without Dolly Parton giving us her blessings, and it took us 2 years to find the way in to get the script into her hands. Yeah. And she read it, she was on tour, and she read it in the hotel room, and she has no email, and she's not on a computer at all. So she sent us a fax saying that she read it and she loved it, and that she would help us as much as she can. So Tara went to Nashville, because in the movie it's her voice that's reading the letter. It's really her. Yeah. So she recorded that for us. And she recorded, there's an interview on the radio when they're in the car, and she...
In the end it's a letter,
and that's her. Yeah. And then we recorded all the songs, and we sent her for Christmas last year. The film wasn't finished, so we sent her a CD of all the music, and she loved it. She was so moved by... There's an a cappella version, and when the mother and daughter are in the car, it's no instruments, just voices. Yeah. It's the Wailing Jennies. They're a Canadian band from out west. And when Dolly heard that particular version of that song, she said she had tears rolling down her face. So she hasn't actually seen the movie because we keep hoping we're going to be able to show it to her on the big screen, and we keep missing each other. Like if we were in a festival in England, she just left England, or if we were in a festival in in wherever, she's been on tour, right? So we keep missing her everywhere, but we've decided we're going to go to Nashville next month because there's a film festival there, and that's where she lives. And in theory, she's supposed to be home, and we're going to organize a private screening for her. And if for any reason that doesn't happen, we're going to send her the DVD because we want her to see the film, and she hasn't seen it yet. But we were really, really, really hoping to show it to her on the big screen, cinema, with good sound. And when you send somebody a DVD, you just never know.
No, it can.
The phone rings. Or, I don't know. You just don't know how people are going to watch it, right?
But you said like 2 years with the Dolly Parton. How long time has it been since the first idea of the movie came up?
So I met Tara, the writer-director, at another film festival where we were both jury for short films. Yeah. Because she had made an award-winning short, and I had made an award-winning short. Yeah. And so we were chosen to be on this jury. And it was curious and strange because both of us were from Quebec, but both of us are Anglophones, first language being English. And it's very strange for two representatives from Quebec to be English and to not know each other. So we met each other, and on the way...
what year was...
that was, I'd say, about 6 years ago. 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah. And she told me the story. She said, can I pitch a story to you? And I said, sure. And she told me the story, and I said, I love it, love it, love it. Love it. So I got some money for her to write, and she started to write it. And we didn't want to send the script to Dolly until we were really happy with it. So she did quite a few versions, maybe 3 years, and then it took us a couple of years to get it, to find a way of getting Dolly Parton to read it, and then she read it and loved it, and then about a year and a half to actually make it. We shot part of it in Quebec, where we come from, but then we shot the exteriors in Western Canada, which is the other end of the country, and we did half and half, and then, you know, post-production and the recording of the music, and we produced at the same time the CD of the music, which came out at the same time that the film came out, so that was fun. And it's been a year now that we've been traveling with it. Yeah. So each one of us going when we can to present the film everywhere, and it's starting to be sold, and people are seeing it, and I want Scandinavian distribution.
It should have. It's a very unique.
Introduce me to your favorite Swedish distributor, and I will convince him to take the film.
I hope it's growing more and more, because it will be fun when many people see it.
Yeah.
Thank you for
my pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you.